About these guys, it's 8 hours in the gym, right? They come out.
Done that before.
That's right.
Light
Called a
eventually.
meathead.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I'm gonna live longer.
But I'm gonna live
mistake
smarter
you,
and way happier. Yeah.
All right, first of all, first thing you'll see here is some reddish color. I'm not sure if you see any right there. Yeah, you do. See that darker color right there? Those are capillaries. Those capillaries are surrounded by cells that act like a filter, and that makes blood, cerebral spinal fluid. It's part of the blood-brain barrier.
So that one's better on that one.
Those are still compacted.
I'm
They're
just
a little
messing with
pulled
you.
out, but you can see them.
Just messing with her.
Yeah. Okay, so then the lateral ventricle is right behind in there. In the human brain, it'll be back behind underneath that. I'll show you that in a few minutes. This round structure is the thalamus. Let's make a circle. Do the same thing here. This little dot in the center is the connector between the right and left thalami, but it's a whole. They're basically connected entirely in the sheep. On the back here, what you can find is the pineal gland in the sheep. It's quite large. See that? That's a pineal gland. Yours is pretty big over here. That's a pineal. That's where melatonin, the sleep hormone, is produced. Go back behind here, and there is the superior colliculus. You can see that on both brains very clearly. Superior colliculus. Now, your optic nerve was here. That's optic nerve, okay? Let's see, yours is still there. You might want to cut that in half, but that's the optic chiasma. Right behind the optic nerve where it comes out. Here's the chiasma right there. Right behind that is the pituitary attachment, the pituitary stalk, and behind that is the mammillary body of the hypothalamus. So that's the mammillary body. Stalk of the pituitary would be here. It bends back in a sheep. And then optic chiasm. So everything between from here up to there, underneath the circle, and then in front of this colliculus there, this whole region right there is hypothalamus. Hypo means under. Here's the thalamus, here's the hypothalamus, but my borderline is right about like that. So posterior to my probe there is the midbrain. Go to the other side of the colliculus, spunk, and you have the other end of the midbrain.
Hypothalamus again?
So, draw a line right down from his midbrain, right?
Right.
Draw a line down here.
Okay.
Draw a line down here. It includes this, including a little bump right there, up there. This whole region right there. Okay? So, this would be hypothalamus right there, including that. This is the emotional processing part of the hypothalamus. It allows us to connect, a panic response to increasing heart, fight or flight response, right?
That little dot is responsible for all of our emotions.
Well, no, emotions are spread out. Emotions are found in various places, but it mediates the connection. So it's post-traumatic stress disorder. You're a band, you drop on the floor, the world will walk. So that's a learned response in PTSD, but it becomes a reflex, literally, because it's bad, and you drop on the ground.
Right.
You immediately do no thinking anymore. And it becomes a very strong emotions, whether they're very fearsome ones or very pleasurable ones. The fearsome ones are the ones that we're most concerned about, are the booze. Trigger connect the sound, which is part of the awareness system, to the unaware automatic system that drops in the body. And that memory body is involved in the emotional response part.
So it's just how you feel when you go through, certain, fight or flight responses. That's the emotion.
It has to be trauma or extreme pleasure. Of course, for that, you can get them excited by hitting the old pleasure center. Right. Dopamine type.
We all been there. It's all right.
Dopamine thing, right? So, but it's with a PTSD. But the idea is that you connect the part that you're aware of with the part that's automatic.
The fake brain.
Yeah. So anyway, corpus callosum, pineal gland, thalamus, hypothalamus, it's your mammillary body, optic chiasm, pituitary stalk would be here, pituitary's down there, midbrain, Pons I guess would be sort of in here. Pons is lousy looking in here.
What is it?
pons, I guess, would be in this region here. It's
Is it
very
better
defined.
in there?
Yes, this pons looks a little bit better. It's very much blurred in the sheep. Our pons is definitely sitting underneath the cerebellum. In the sheep, you know,
Why
not
is
so
ours
clear.
more prominent, you know?
I do not know.
There you go.
We are, I mean, sheep are pretty big, you know. Got me. Small brains. All right, spinal cord. Fourth ventricle is here. Let's show you the ventricles. Here. Ventricles are fluid compartments. You can't see the lateral ventricles here because they're underneath that surface. I'm coming here. Guys, if you're done with the brains and stuff, you can bag them up and then you can start reviewing slides and stuff for lab practical. This is a review lab, so you have, make sure you get all that terminology down. Okay, so this center part, this mid-sagittal part, is the part you just cut in half. So this would be, this part of the brain is the third ventricle. It's just this thing right there. This pink would be that pink right there. That's your choroid plexus, right? This pink makes
What on the real brain? I'm sorry.
is a choroid plexus, the stuff that makes cerebral spinal fluid. This pink is pink because there's blood vessels in it, and that's why the blood vessels are found here and
Your
here.
fingers just, when you're touching, I just can't see it very well.
So watch this. I'm going to put my fluid on my third ventricle,
Okay.
and then the cerebral aqueduct, fourth ventricle. So this is this. This is that.
Okay.
That is underneath there. This little hole right there is the
Yeah,
bridge
I'll send
between
it.
the two sides of the thalamus right there. You see?
Okay.
It's not a color brain, but it's. You get the idea?
Yep.
We cut this in half. Now, if you
If you could poke it with one of the instruments on the real one, can you show me again?
I will get the real brains out and I'll show you.
Because your hand was just in the way. I
Or
couldn't see it.
this part?
Oh, okay. The space in
That you're
between.
talking about, the red part?
Yeah, you're going basically your corpus callosum will be over that.
I'm not sure.
So take this here, place those fellas right in here,
Oh,
and you get sort of an idea of how that works.
I see that.
Thalamus being the innermost structure, that's thalamus, and there's basal ganglia on top of that, and then this is insular cortex.
Does anybody need the marker for the specimen bag?
All right, so I'll get some human brain stuff out.
We'll need it in a minute.
All right, yeah.
So is that all?
Correct down, it's right
Is that all?
Would you be able to explain the ventricles? Like
The ventricle one more
1, 2,
time,
3, and
please.
4 again? Is that a thing they could do?
Yeah.
What's 3 and 4?
You wanna do class wide? It's hard to do though. Altogether.
No, I mean, we don't need to do class, but if you just want to show me that, that's
Well, let me go over this table over here because
only I really need to know about that if I'm
I've done